Boy, oh boy, it is good to be living in this era of boxing today. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? If you haven't heard yet, some of the biggest news in the sport of boxing to come out in probably recent years has come out today. And that is Floyd Mayweather fighting against Canelo Alvarez September 14th, Mexican Independence Day, or at least around that day. Guys, this is huge news, right? And me as a boxing fan, it gets no better than this. It gets no better than this. Congratulations to Canelo Alvarez for being a part of making this happen. Canelo Alvarez, he did two things that Manny Pacquiao was not willing to do. We already know Canelo is not getting 50-50 in this fight when it comes to the money breakdown. We already know that for a fact, okay? We already know Canelo Alvarez is going to be taking a random-style Olympic drug test, all right? Two things that Manny Pacquiao wasn't willing to do. First, negotiations didn't happen because Pacquiao, he didn't want to take an Olympic-style drug test, all right? The rest of the negotiations, Pacquiao said, if I don't get 50-50, I'm not fighting. So congrats to Canelo on doing something that Manny Pacquiao wasn't willing to do. All right? Now, congrats to Floyd Mayweather for being probably the fighter with the biggest balls today. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who has bigger nuts than Floyd Mayweather? Realistically, guys. Who do you know right now that has everything to lose because they're on the top and they're willing to fight an undefeated champion 14 years younger than them, way stronger, much bigger, okay? And Floyd Mayweather is willing to fight this guy. When Floyd Mayweather has arguably sports' highest paid contract with Showtime, okay? He could have, realistically, Floyd Mayweather could have played it safe, and he could have at least waited until the last fight came up on his contract to fight Canelo. That way he has nothing to lose, because if Floyd Mayweather were to lose this fight, he probably would lose that contract that he has. Or there would be stipulations that would change in the contract if he were to lose. So I can't think of any fighter right now who has balls as big as Floyd Mayweather. Okay? I can't think of any fighter right now who makes more risk. Or I should say, who takes more risk than Floyd Mayweather. All right? I can't think of anyone. You think if Marquez beats Bradley, he's going to fight Broner next? You know it ain't going to happen. Even Marquez fans themselves say, he's already older. Why should he take a risk like that, fighting these young, champions, et cetera, et cetera? He doesn't need to fight these young guys anymore. This was the comments that I was reading when it came to Broner calling out Marquez. The young, strong lion calling out the older lion who's already on top at the time. That's what they said. You think if Manny Pacquiao beats the shit out of Brandon Rios, he's going to fight an Adrian Broner? You know it ain't going to happen. You know it ain't going to happen. Because these older champions, they're not going to take the risk of fighting a young, fucking strong-ass lion who's bigger than they are or stronger than they are. Okay? This is the final obstacle that you have to hurdle over to become considered one of the greatest of all time in the sport of boxing. And what is that obstacle? That obstacle is beating younger, stronger champions. And they don't necessarily have to all be stronger, but definitely beating the young lions. That is the hardest thing for a prime champion who's been champion for quite some time, who's been on top for quite some time. That's the hardest thing to do, because we all know You come up in the rankings as a prospect. You beat your tomato cans, right? Then you start to go up against the contenders who have a chance of beating you. Then you fight for the title. You fight the guy who has all the experience that you don't have yet, right? Then you beat him. Then you start beating, all the contenders coming up trying to take your title. Then last but not least, the most difficult thing to do is fight the young, hungry lions that were in the same position that you were in 10 years ago. Now you're fighting those hungry lions. That is the hardest thing to do in this sport. This is why, like I said, you don't see Marquez fighting against Broner. You're not going to really see Manny Pacquiao fighting against an Adrian Broner. You're not going to see these type of fighters who are already on top taking that risk to fight these young lions. All right? This is something that Floyd Mayweather is doing. And if he can be successful at it, boy, oh boy, he shuts all the critics up. There's no more sending messages, oh, Floyd is scared. Floyd is scared. Well, Floyd went from being accused of being scared to being the most fearless boxer there is today. Like I said, you can't name me one fighter who is on top right now, has everything to lose, and they're fighting against young lions 10 years younger than them that are champions, that are promising champions, that have promising futures in the sport of boxing. Okay? Now let's shift to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, he has a chance to become pound for pound the best fighter in the world. If not top 3 pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Okay? The stakes could not be any higher when it comes to this fight. All right? Canelo Alvarez has been calling out Floyd Mayweather for almost 2 years now. And just like J.O. Felony said, Floyd Mayweather said, I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? All right? This is it, guys. It gets no bigger than this. It gets no fucking bigger than this. You know, it's funny because I remember when Floyd Mayweather, when he went on the radio show and he had the little debate with the rapper, I forgot his name, the white boy rapper, the dude was, him. He was calling out Floyd. He was like, man, why you don't fight Shane Mosley? I want to see you fight Shane Mosley, right? And then the other radio, DJs, they start saying the same thing. Like, shit, that's the fight I want to see. Fuck that, man. I want to see you fight Shane Mosley. You know what I'm saying? They kept saying this over and over, right? Coincidentally, this was actually about 3 or 4 months before the Shane Mosley fight was signed. Floyd Mayweather, he went in there and he destroyed Shane Mosley. This is the same situation right now. Everybody, I want to see the Canelo fight. I want to see him fight Canelo. I want to see you fight Canelo. Well, the Canelo fight is signed. What you gonna do with it, Canelo? This is a very intriguing fight. Like I told you guys before, Canelo Alvarez, or I should say Floyd Mayweather. This is the reason why Floyd Mayweather has the biggest nuts in the sport of boxing today. Because Floyd Mayweather is giving up every single advantage that we can think of. He's giving that advantage to Canelo Alvarez. All right? The fight is going to be fought at a catch weight of 152 pounds. 152 pounds. Canelo just weighed in at 153 for the Trout fight. He just weighed in at 153 for the Trout fight. So you're not really cutting off any weight when it comes to Canelo weighing in. 1 pound. That's what Floyd Mayweather came in the Marquez fight at 146. All right? So that lets you know 1 pound ain't shit. And when you really think about it, Floyd Mayweather, When he fought against Cotto at 154, Floyd Mayweather came in the ring at, was it 149, 150? It was either 149 or 150. So you would think that if Floyd was really trying to make this like an even type situation, you would think that Floyd would be like, let's meet up right in the middle of 147 and 154, which would be something like closer to 150, right? It'll be like 150, 151, and a half, something like that. But Floyd Mayweather is saying come down 152, and Floyd already knows that he doesn't even weigh in at 152. He's not going to come in at 152, Floyd Mayweather. So all of the advantages go to Canelo when it comes to physical attributes. Once again, Floyd Mayweather does not mind giving Canelo Alvarez a head start in the race. That says a lot, guys. That says a lot. Every single time a fighter has had the type of status that Floyd Mayweather has had, they always made sure they had every single advantage in their favor. Okay? When Manny Pacquiao, when he was on top, when he negotiated with everybody from Cotto to Mosley, everybody, he made sure he got everything he wanted. Oscar De La Hoya made sure he got everything he wanted. Okay? Floyd Mayweather is giving this young lion almost every single advantage that he asked for or wanted in negotiations. Now let's talk a little bit about the fight. Since I rambled on a little bit, I think I'm going to make a separate video just breaking the fight down. This video is going to be mainly just talking about the fight being made and everything that had to take place for the fight to be made. Now, one thing I will say is, another reason why I'm so, happy about this fight being made is, realistically, I think Canelo Alvarez, he has a better chance of beating Floyd Mayweather than Manny Pacquiao ever did. And it's simple. It's simply because Canelo Alvarez does not make as many mistakes as Manny Pacquiao does. And of course, it's because of Canelo Alvarez's natural size advantage and power. All right? With all of those intangibles, Canelo also has speed, power. He has a decent defense, and he knows how to counterpunch. This is a great freaking matchup, guys. It really is. It's a great matchup. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I'll try to go ahead and make sure I do my breakdown later on today. Go ahead and hit this gym up right now and let this upload. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys later on, man. I'm on to the next one.